In this video, we're going to discuss the buy object behavior. Now, I'm in the Subway DLC test level, and before we even begin, I want to preface this by saying this video is intended to be part one of a two-part series. And that's because this particular behavior, you'll come to learn, in and of itself, doesn't do a whole lot. It's really intended to be used for something else or in conjunction with something else. So let me show you how it works, and then we'll talk about how it could potentially be used. And in the follow-up video, in the second part, we'll see that in action. So here we have a set of newspaper stands, and I want to start a business in my local Subway. So I'm going to come over here and purchase this newspaper stand so that I can begin generating, an income from it, for example. So I'm just going to purchase that. So we see that the text at the bottom said purchased, and my money went down from 300 to 200, and now I own this newspaper stand. Right, but I can't do anything else with it. Right, I own it, but now what? Right, and even then, the newspaper stand we're looking at is not actually the same newspaper stand that I purchased. The one that I just purchased went away. So let me show you what I mean by that. All right, so here is the one I own, and here's the one I bought. So there's actually two here, and they are linked. So if we pull this out and we click our little logic link, we can see they're linked together. The one that is has no behavior on it is not active at the beginning. So you show it level is inactive. So when I interact with this object, when I purchase it, then it goes away and it activates this object at the same time to give the illusion that I've just purchased the same object, right? And this object contains our buy object behavior. So let's walk through this together, and then I'll talk about why I think this behavior in and of itself, just by itself, doesn't do a whole lot, but when paired with something else is amazing. All right, so first we have our use range, which is how close to the object do I need to be in order to interact with it. The buy text, which is what I need to do in order to purchase this object. So press E to purchase. The bought text. So once I've pressed E and I've purchased this object, then it'll say purchase there at the bottom. Now, if I didn't have enough of whatever currency that I'm using, it would tell me insufficient funds instead if I tried to purchase it. Now, where that text is going to be displayed, is it going to be local to the object, meaning will be near this, or will it just be at the bottom center of the screen like we saw? I've been using the screen, so that's where we saw it. Wouldn't be a huge difference, but sometimes it matters. The buy cost is how much is it going to cost to purchase this object. And that cost is related to the global that's being affected. So in other words, I'm using my money, which is a pre-built global, but it doesn't have to be money exactly. It could be anything, points or mojo or whatever global you want, whatever your in-game currency happens to be. It could affect that and deduct from that pool of resource. And then this option here says delete on buy. Right now, I can't think of a single reason why you wouldn't choose yes, because like I said, by itself, if you didn't delete the object, it would be there, but it wouldn't be interactable. It would still be a buy object behavior attached to it. So I couldn't think of any scenario where I wouldn't choose yes, but I think in the future that might change depending on the kinds of objects we have or the kinds of other features we might get, in the future. So, take that for what it is as a point of time, but know that that could become useful in the future. But right now I would just choose yes, and then your user global we already talked about, and then of course the sound it makes when you've purchased the item. So as you saw, this object, since I've got this set to yes, gets deleted when I purchase it. It's logic linked to this object, which of course looks identical, which is invisible to begin with, but gets activated. So this is where I think this behavior comes into its own and becomes extremely useful, right? That this new object that's been activated doesn't currently have a behavior, because I like to make my videos about individual behaviors and try not to do too much in one if I can avoid it. That's why I want to do a follow-up video that builds off of what we've learned today. And in that video, what we'll do is we'll use the generate income behavior, and we'll have this machine start generating an income on a frequency, going forward. And so we'll talk about that in the next round. But that's just one example. Maybe you have, I don't know, an object like a health potion or a weapon or something like that, right? And you want them to have to purchase that object in order to be able to use it. You would do the same kind of thing. You'd set up a dummy object that's got the buy object behavior on it linked to the hidden object, and then activate it, and then that item, the new item, has the behavior, whatever it is, whether it's maybe it's bottled item, maybe it's a health potion, maybe it's whatever it is. There's any of the behaviors that we've talked about along the way, or some of the ones that we haven't, could come into play. So that's the versatility of this particular behavior, is once you've activated the next object, then it could be, the sky's the limit, right? Maybe it's a portal. Maybe there's like a teleport that's inactivated until you purchase a one-way ride on that teleport or the elevator or whatever it is. You see what I mean? So like, it could really be, the sky's the limit. It could be anything you can think of. So that's the buy object behavior. More to come on the usefulness of that, but I think you see where I'm going with it. If you enjoyed the video, or if you learned anything new, please be sure to click the like button down below. If you're new here, or if you just haven't subscribed, would love to have you stick around. Please be sure to click the subscribe button. And if you'd like a notification for when I post new videos, just click the bell icon, and that'll give you a little heads up anytime a new video is ready for you. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching all the way through, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey, don't forget there's a written guide for every behavior, including ones I haven't yet covered on this channel. And if you want to learn some more, why don't you check out this video next.